I was investing into a startup where I was also working in that startup, and that the startup didn't work out and I lost all my money.
We're all human beings. We're all experiencing, laziness. We all want to, just like lay back after work.
Every month I'm making 2 trades. My wage is coming. There is a direct part which is going to my investment account.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast. I'm Charlene. Today we have a very, very special guest, Raphael Mueller. Raphael has over 15 years in banking and finance and holds a senior position at one of the world's largest asset management firms. He's also known in the industry for his impressive fitness. Raphael, you've been in the banking industry or investment industry for over 15 years, and you've been working out, like you said, since young, maybe 10, 20, 13 years. So you're, I would say, such an expert in both fields. But I believe a lot of our audience here today, we don't know much about investments, right? We don't have a CFA Charterholder, and probably we just wanted to be more physically active as well. So my question to you is like also for those beginners, like for example, if I'm a beginner in investments, I'm also a beginner in fitness, in workout. Can you recommend any beginner-friendly investments and workouts that help you build a solid foundation in both fields?
Yeah, so I mean, on the investment side, what I said is really a very basic ETF portfolio. So it can consist of 2 or 3 or even just one ETF, right? So if you're very young, there is nothing wrong with putting everything into, a broad equity ETF for the moment,
Mhm.
right?
For example, I can like MSCI World, I guess, or S&P 500,
Yes,
something
of
like
course. I
this.
mean, you need to be aware that you have a lot of US bias in those, but that's
Hmm.
kind of in a way how the capital market globally is kind of organized. But that's a much better investment than saying, you put all your eggs into one basket and then you just buy Apple
Hmm.
shares or Tesla shares or something like this. Um, so yeah, I would say this, or I mean, there are also they are called portfolio funds. They are a fund itself which is already multi-asset. Unfortunately, those are not that cheap usually. So but at the end, is it better than being invested in cash, have everything in cash? Yes, it's better. Um, I mean, on the fitness side, I mean, if you're now talking about strength training, I think what people should start with are kind of, they call it the big five, or, like really the basic compound movements, like doing, for example, being able to do a proper pull up, doing a squat, a bench press, some type of rowing movement, like a barbell row, I mean, these are kind of really basic compound
Wait,
movements.
you said a basic five, right? First
Yeah,
one,
I think there are squat, deadlift,
squat.
ben-
Okay.
bench press,
Bench press,
pull-ups, and
pull-ups,
military press. But you cannot ask
press.
Chat if you're listening. You ask ChatGTP for the big fives, and then those big fives, they are not easy to do in a proper form. So that's also something which you have to learn. It's when you first do a bench press or a pull-up. I mean, you have to learn this technique, and there are also a lot of good sources of YouTube videos. They show you how to do, how to approach doing a pull-up, right? If you don't have the strength, you won't be able to do a pull-up. So you do assisted pull-ups first, or you just do the negative part of the pull-up. Same with a bench press. You may start with pretty much just the barbell, and like then start just practicing the actual movement, and then you can start adding weights. And there I really encourage people to invest into doing a proper form, and also ask people for feedback, and make sure that you do it properly before then start
Get
adding
the
weight.
basic back, get the
get
foundation
get the
correct first.
foundation. And but usually what you see people doing, they go to the gym, and the first thing they do is they call it an isolation exercise, a bicep curl, or like training their calves or something, which is
Which you
uh,
don't advise,
we
basically.
don't need to do, because you will also grow your biceps and your calf if you do those compound movements. If you're able to do a pull up, you need to have decent arm strength. If you do a squat, you have core body, you have your legs, your butt, your calves, everything involved.
Yeah, Raphael, I totally agree with you. Get the basic correct, get the basic right, build up the foundation, and then on top of it, you can explore some exciting, side of thing as well. And I have another question, since you mentioned the basics. This is the core for both fitness and investments. So I can imagine a lot of people, including me myself, sometimes I feel, yeah, if I keep doing the basic five, if I keep just investing in one ETF, life is becomes so boring. I want to have fun at in a gym, or doing some other exercise beyond gym, or for investment. Sometimes people also feel really bored if you just
Mm.
okay, every month I put maybe 5K into same product every single month, and like boring. So both fitness plans and financial investments can be really boring. So how do you maintain enthusiasm and
Yeah.
commitment in the face of routine?
So I just want to correct a little bit, what I was advising with this, one ETF, or, doing the big five, is not what I advise you to do, forever, right? But you were talking
Oh,
about beginners, and
mhm, mhm.
the incremental move from not doing anything to doing something, I mean, is huge. If you don't work out and you are able to do, proper of the big five, you will have a huge fitness progress. The same on your investment side. If you have never invested, and you start investing into the MSCI World, um, I mean, this is a game changer, right? Of course, is this everything? No, I mean, there is more to it, and it can be a bit more sophisticated than that, but it's definitely the right thing to start with. And it will get you interested as well. You will start reading, once you are invested in that, you may approach different sources, and start to maybe a bit um, more well-rounded portfolio. And same on the fitness side, besides the big five, you will add additional movements. So now to your question about getting bored. So I mean, on the fitness side, I don't have problems with getting bored.
Okay.
I I know how it makes me feel. So sometimes I have to kick my butt to go to the gym in the evening. I usually work out in the evening, and it's not easy, and sometimes I'm lazy as well. But I always know I have never felt worse after workout than before entering the gym. I always feel better. I'm coming
Mm,
out.
mm, mm,
I feel to have a nice pump. I'm relaxed. I'm hungry. I'm gonna sleep well. So it's just nice. And so this is enough motivation for me to go. So for me, it's rather like I cannot go all the time I want to, because I have other commitments. So, and
mm.
usually I just go 3 times a week, and I'm really looking forward to that. On the investment side, I mean, I said I have my strategy, and at the end, every month I'm making 2 trades. Every every month,
Every month you make two
yeah,
trades.
my
Mhm.
wage is coming. There is a direct part which is going to my investment account, and with this I'm making 2 trades. That's about it. It's like brushing my teeth. I don't even think about it's just doing it like a machine, and trying to keep all the emotions out. Also not trying to time it in a way and thinking, oh, this month I hold it back for a day or two, and thinking, no, I just do
Mm,
it on a day it comes. And it really became such a routine that I don't even think about it. It's really very much like brushing my teeth or putting in my lenses in the morning. I just do it.
Yeah, that's such I would say such a great habit if you can really be disciplined in both worlds, in both finance and fitness. And like you, one thing that really hit home for me is like you mentioned, I'm also lazy sometimes, after, I don't know, it's 8 hours, 9 hours, I believe minimum for you at your, at your work as well every single day. And then after that, I believe it's already 7 or 8, and then, oh, should I hit the gym or not? And then you decided to go, and you said, oh, I'm also lazy. So I would say we're all human beings. We're all experiencing, laziness. We all want to, okay, just like lay in bed after work. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever had a setback or failure in either area, in either finance or fitness, and how did you bounce back? Since you mentioned I'm sometimes also lazy, so I want to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah, sure. I mean, not in terms of losing my discipline, but in terms of like having to suffer from setbacks and kind of, I mean, on the investment management side, for example, I was investing into a startup where I was also working in that startup. So it was a very company specific investment, and
Mm,
it exactly happened what I didn't want to happen, that the startup didn't work out, and I lost all my money that I've put into the startup, which, yeah, from an investment journey point of view, was a hard learning. It was but it made it very real, to what it means to take company specific risk. And at the end, of course, I was hoping for uh, the successful startup that would times X my money, but unfortunately it didn't happen. On
mm,
the fitness side, I mean, I once broke my leg, not in the gym, but no, my foot. I broke my foot, so I couldn't work out for a while. So that was a setback. I once hurt. I mean, it was the only time I hurt myself in the gym while doing a squat. I had like a lumbago. I don't know the
uh,
English word. So like a lower back pain, really bad one. I thought I kind of got a slip disc, and I was kind of set back there. And yeah, I mean, this is also part of the fitness journey. It will happen that you may have an injury during your workout, or maybe because you have a ski accident or something, and
mm.
in one way or the other it will set you back. But I think it's, at the end, yeah, I was always motivated to go back and trying and yeah, just make it,
Yeah,
be
one
able.
time I also got my knees injured, and then someone just told me one line that I still remember this. Oh, if you hit the gym, who doesn't ever have any injury? Right? I think quite similar to finance. Sometimes we just need to know that we're all human beings. Everyone makes mistakes, and then we learn from mistakes. Like, for example, me, myself, and Raphael also, we both are CFA Charterholder. I would say I would see ourselves as well educated in terms of finance and investments, and work for those top financial institutions as professional investors. But still, we learn a lot of life lessons, and
Yeah,
then we
absolutely.
get better and better, and now we really want to share our own, I would say, knowledge, experience, expertise, and the failures we experienced, and to empower everyday people to be more financially literate and eventually achieve financial freedom. So,
Absolutely.
Raphael, I think thank you so much for taking your time to join the podcast. So, me personally, I learned a lot from you today from this conversation as well. So, for those audience who want to get in touch with you, who want to, know you better, or reach out if they may have any questions, how can we reach out to you?
You just can link my LinkedIn profile, and people can send me a message there. So that's pretty
Great.
much the only social media I use. I mean, all the other channels are dead, so I'm not gonna mention them. Yeah. So if yeah, anyone, yeah, please connect on LinkedIn, and happy to talk.
Yeah, thank you so much, Raphael. And thank you so much everyone for listening in today. I'll see you next time then.
Thank you for having me.